viewers, I'm Jane, the ultimate Filipina. Today, I have got huge travel news you cannot miss because this one might change your next holiday or business trip. Imagine hopping into China without the usual visa hassle. Yes, that's right. The world's second largest economy, the land of the Great Wall, skyscrapers, ancient culture, and rapid tech growth, opening its doors in a major way. In fact, China has now extended its visa-free policy to 45 countries and beyond, making it dramatically easier for many foreign nationals to set foot on the mainland. Why now? What are the rules? Which countries are included? What are the catches and hidden details? I'm going to walk you through everything. So if you are planning travel, business, exploring new markets, or simply curious, stick around. Because you might just discover a new travel hack you never knew about. Before we dive in, hit the subscribe button, tap the bell icon so you don't miss out on more travel policy updates, global mobility tips, and insider info. Alright, let's go. First, why is this a big deal? For years, traveling to China has required a visa for most foreign nationals. The process could be time consuming, costly, and full of paperwork, especially for tourism, business, or visiting relatives. But that is changing. As of late 2024 and into 2025, China's authorities have been actively loosening several visa or transit visa restrictions. The National Immigration Administration of China announced that its 240-hour 10-day visa-free transit program now covers 55 countries. It also reports that the unilateral visa-free entry policy, where ordinary passport holders may enter for tourism, business, visiting family or friends, transit has been expanded to more countries, up to around 43 or more. Travel industry coverage highlights that China is using this as part of its push to reopen, attract tourists, boost inbound travel, and reshape its global image. So, when we say 45 countries in our title, we are referencing 1K strand of this policy expansion. The unilateral visa-free entry or major extension to many nations. Why travel watchers should care? It removes a barrier to one of the biggest travel markets in the world. For business, it means easier access for many more nationalities. For tourism, it opens huge potential, ancient cities, and modern metropolises. For students, culture seekers, and digital nomads, this signals China is stepping up its outreach because the world is more connected than ever. Being ahead of these policy changes gives you a travel edge. Now, let's get into the which and how of the policy. Here are the key policy updates broken down. 1. Unilateral visa-free entry for ordinary passports. Unilateral means China is offering visa-free access to citizens of certain countries without requiring reciprocity in some cases. According to a China Briefing article on November 22, 2024, China expanded its unilateral visa-free entry policy by 9 countries: Japan, Bulgaria, Romania, etc., and extended the stay to 30 days. Another source: as of November 2025, China grants visa-free entry for holders of ordinary passports from some 47 countries for up to 30 days, or for business, tourism, visits, transit. 240-hour 10-day visa-free transit program. This is for passengers transiting through China en route to a third country. The policy allows nationals of 55 countries to stay up to 240 hours or 10 days in designated areas, ports, without a visa, provided they are going onward to a third destination. The NIA announced adding Indonesia to its list June 12, 2025, bringing the eligible list to 55. 3. Strategic, geographic, and purpose expansion. China expanded ports entry. Exit points are eligible for the transit scheme. More railway, bridge ports between Hong Kong, Guangdong, etc. For the unilateral entry policy, the eligible nationalities span Europe, Latin America, Asia, Middle East. Examples include Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, Uruguay. For effective dates and duration, many of these unilateral visa-free stays are valid up to 30 days. The transit 240-hour scheme is up to 10 days or 240 hours in China for eligible travelers. 5. Purpose and condition. Purpose allowed: tourism, business, visiting, transit, exchange visits, depending on scheme. Some caveats. For transit scheme, you must be on your way to another country, entering and staying as destination without onward ticket may be illegal. This is more than a minor tweak. It's a significant opening of China's border for many nationalities under specific conditions. Let's zoom in on the nationalities and regions covered, and where you might stand if you're planning travel. For the 240-hour transit program, eligible countries number about 55. That includes many European nations: Austria, Belgium, Russia, UK, Indonesia, and more. For unilateral visa-free entry, the list is smaller but growing: 38 or more countries as of early 2025. Example: Brunei, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, many European states. A China briefing article suggests ordinary passport holders of 35 or more countries may enter China visa-free for up to 15 or 30 days. Moreover, China's government cites notes up to 47 countries allowed up to 30 days visa-free for ordinary passports, business, tourism, visits. Just because someone from country X can enter visa-free under unilateral entry doesn't automatically mean all countries are covered. Always check your specific nationality, passport type, purpose, entry port, and duration. For viewers in the Philippines or Southeast Asia, if you are a Filipino national, you need want to check whether your passport country is listed under the new expansions. As of now, the headline 45 countries suggests many but not all. The headline 45 countries is effectively a midpoint figure. The actual list may exceed 45 when combined with transit or entry and maybe in flux. Always check latest official bulletin from the NIA or Chinese embassy. So, why is China making this move and what are the implications for you, for business and for global travel? Economic tourism boost. After the pandemic lockdowns and travel restrictions, inbound tourism to China plummeted. By relaxing visa barriers, China is aiming to revive that sector. The transit scheme 240-hour especially encourage short stay stopovers, transit tourism, multi-city travels, which inject spending into regional airports, hotel service, soft power, global engagement. By making it easier to enter China, the country invites more people to experience Chinese culture, cities, infrastructure firsthand, potentially shaping perceptions. Business, trade, and connectivity. Easier access means foreign business, travelers, investors may come with less friction. China wants to integrate more globally, attract investment partnerships, regional diplomacy. Some of the countries added are in Latin America, Middle East, or Asian region, reflecting China's diplomatic outreach. For example, Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Kuwait, Bahrain were added for visa-free stay up to 30 days trial from June 9, 2025. Travel industry and infrastructure with more entry, Chinese airports, railway hubs, tourism zones gear up for more foreign traffic. This can lead to improved infrastructure, multilingual service, new travel routes, what it means for you, the global traveler business visitors, less administrative headache, easier spontaneous travel, more options for stopovers, transits through China as part of your multi-city trip. For business, shorter discussions, easier visits, faster market exploration. For tourism, opening up destinations you may not have considered, like China's interior, smaller cities. But there are still constraints, so don't assume no visa at all or unlimited stay. Redefine print. Okay, before you pack your bags, here are things to watch out for a potential traps so you don't run into trouble. 1. Duration and purpose. Limitations stay up to 30 days for unilateral entry, up to 10 days, 240 hours for transit. Exceeding those mean you must apply for a regular visa. 2. Specific entry ports. For transit scheme, you must enter through eligible ports, airports, railway stations. Not every entry counts. 3. Onward ticket requirement. Transit case. For the 240-hour scheme, you must hold confirmed tickets to a third country region. If not, your stay may violate the condition. 4. Purpose restrictions. Some use are not allowed under visa-free. Full employment, long-term study, settlement. This require the proper visa. 5. Nationality, passport type. Only certain countries' ordinary passports are eligible. Diplomatic service or special passports may have separate roles. Always verify your passport's eligibility. 6. Effective dates, validity. Some policies are pilot, trial, time limited. The policy may end, change, or require renewal. For example, the unilateral entry policy was valid until December 31, 2025 for many countries. 7. Local regulations in China. Even if visa-free is allowed, local rules registration with authorities, local travel permissions in certain regions may still apply. It pays to check. 8. Not the same as full visa waiver. For all state types, visa-free doesn't necessarily convert to full long-term stay, work permit, etc. If you plan to live, work, study, you still need proper visa permit. Tips for you. If you are planning travel from the Philippines or Southeast Asia, check with the Chinese embassy or Chinese immigration website if your nationality is covered by the latest expansion and long enough for your trip. In short, great opportunity, but work out the details in advance to avoid issues at arrival. Here are some practical tips to take advantage of this visa-free expansion. Check your eligibility early. Look up your country of the latest official list or China embassy page. Plan your itinerary. If you are using the transit scheme, map out entry port, onward flight, and stay area restrictions. Use the 10-day window wisely. Book flexible flights, hotels. You may want to stay in China a few days to explore. If allowed under the scheme, look for good deals in cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Xi'an, Chengdu. Carry supporting documentation, especially for transit visa-free travelers. Onward ticket, passport valid for required time, often 3 plus months. Visa if needed for next destination. Double check entry port. Not every airport, rail station may qualify. Some are still restricted. Respect local laws and conditions. Stay within designated region. Don't overstay. Keep in mind possible language barriers. Use the opportunity to explore less tourist parts with increased access. You might consider lesser known Chinese cities or province which may offer great value and fewer crowds. Keep update because policy changes happen. Always check just before your trip in case something has changed. If you follow these tips, you'll be well prepared to benefit from this opening. What might we expect going forward? A few thoughts. The number of countries eligible may continue to rise. As one source note, China has signed mutual visa exemption agreements with many countries and is expanding its circle of friends. We may see longer stay visa-free stays or broader purposes, cultural exchange, short-term work if the pilot schemes are judged successful. China may emphasize certain regions or cities as hubs for visa-free stays. Hainan Island already has special visa-free schemes. For travelers, this means more flexibility and more global itinerary possibilities. For business, easier access to Chinese markets. But also, we must watch geopolitical, travel risk developments. Visa policies can be rolled back if circumstances change. In short, this is a positive trend for global mobility and travel. If you're proactive, you can ride the wave. Let's wrap up with the key takeaways. Yes, China is opening up access by extending visa-free or simplified visa pathways to many countries. The 45 countries in our headline captures this scale. The main mechanism: unilateral visa-free entry for some countries and 240-hour visa-free transit for a broader list. It's a really big opportunity for tourism, business, transit travel, but you still must check your country, the rules, the port, purpose, and duration. If done properly, you could travel to China with far fewer visa hassles than before, maybe even on a spontaneous trip. Practical tip: verify your eligibility. Book smart, carry required paperwork, stay within rules. Final word: don't assume no visa, no rules. The opening up is real, but it still comes with conditions. Get ahead of it, and you might just discover a fantastic travel opportunity. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, give it a like, share it with friends who travel, and leave a comment. Are you planning to trip to China now? Which city do you want to visit? I will keep covering travel policy shifts around the world. Safe travels and see you next time. I'm Jane, the ultimate Filipina, wishing you an ultimate day, an ultimate life in the Philippines. Take care.